Hey James, where's the other half? Whoa!
It's almost finished. I swear. Now guys, this is the second half of a video I'm doing with Sarcastic course. So go over to his channel first and watch the first half over there.
Crossing the threshold. The hero leaves their ordinary world for the first time and crosses the threshold into adventure. This is the point of no return for Adora. She can't return to her past life. Her point of view has been shaken apart by the truth behind the Horde's lies. Her crossing the threshold comes with her returning to Bright Moon to be accepted into the rebellion. While another contender for this spot is Adora fighting off the Horde at Thamor, it's incomplete. Adora is definitely crossing a line here, turning her back on her former home, but doesn't officially become an enemy of the Horde until she joins the rebellion. Because honestly, those are just robots and nameless soldiers. They probably would have welcomed her back if she showed off how much power she had. Adora has options after Thamor, but after she's swearing her fealty to the rebellion, she can't go back. Not only would she have betrayed the Horde, she would have to then betray the rebellion to go back to them, making her completely untrustable. Now, having fully crossed the threshold, Adora begins by finding new people to join in on her quest, as well as new enemies that would try to hinder her.
Trials. The hero learns rules of the new world and endures tests, meets friends, and comes face to face with enemies. The little things to increase our investment in them along the way. This is where we genuinely are introduced to the true reality of the world our heroes live in. In Season 1, these bits are roughly portrayed in episodes 4 through 8. The setup of this section is when the Horde's kicking the rebellion's butts, not because they are any good at it, but rather the various kingdoms that used to be united broke up after the fight. Some of the princesses think it's hopeless, some think it's none of their business, but it becomes apparent that they all can't continue to live in isolation from each other if they want to stand any chance. Glimmer gets the big brain idea to reboot the Princess Alliance. These 5 episodes are primarily about those adventures to Plumeria, Selenius, Drill, and the Kingdom of Snows, in which each episode we see different plans cooked up by the Horde which they all have to overcome together. New allies get added to the cast: Mermista, Perfuma, and Trapta, while on the other side we see new villains make their moves like Scorpia and Hordak. These tests generally involve Adora getting a better understanding of She-Ra's powers and weaknesses, fixing whatever the Horde broke. During these trials, the rebellion gains confidence that they can beat the Horde. However, worse has yet to come.
The approach. Initial plan to take on the central conflict begins, but setbacks occur that cause the hero to try a new approach or new ideas. This one is a bit complicated, since most of the hero's journey as a whole is up to interpretation. But She-Ra's approach is done in the most She-Ra way possible, with prom. Having picked up a few princesses, the best friend squad goes for even bigger targets, recruiting Frosta, the princess of some ice kingdom. A powerful ice user with one of the largest kingdoms in Etheria, Adora uses the upcoming prom as an opportunity to recruit Frosta, while Bow and Glimmer act like lovable idiots and cause their own brand of mayhem. Things hit a snag fast as Scorpia and Catra show up in way better outfits, causing Tumblr to burn itself to the ground. Catra triggers Adora, making her cause a scene, and gets thrown out of the party. Glimmer and Bow get captured, Catra makes her way off with the sword, and Adora has to return to her former home, though this time, seeing it for what it really is. Working together, the Princess Alliance manages to rescue Glimmer and Bow, but their poor coordination and what they think is dead Entrapta cause them to split up. Glimmer's magic got disrupted by Shadow Weaver, and Adora's off to the First One's pyramid, hoping to find the answers there of how she can fix Glimmer's powers. But Catra.
Ordeal. This stage is an opportunity to give the hero needed character development so they can face the final fight. In She-Ra, the primary drama is the relationship between Catra and Adora. It's clear from the beginning that they both care deeply for each other, but are unable to communicate properly. When Adora left the Horde, Catra perceived it as Adora abandoning her. They've been on a collision course throughout the season, butting heads along the way. Here they finally crash and the characters develop and decide who they're fighting for and why. Catra and Adora get stuck in a temple and have to try working together to get out, all while being shown painful past memories that remind them how much they care for each other. This gives them the opportunity to talk their feelings out, but Catra, feeling put down by Adora, builds up more resentment, which gets pushed to the edge when she sees a memory where, as kids, Adora promised they'd always look out for one another. This memory solidifies Catra's feelings of being abandoned and betrayed. Overwhelmed, Catra drops Adora down a chasm, leading to her what's expected to be death. Catra was finally able to break away from her past life with this act. With refound strength in her independence, Catra transforms into the show's true villain.
The reward. After surviving the ordeal, Hero receives a reward that will help them out. After being dropped to her supposed death by the not love of her life, Adora could use a quick pick-me-up. Waking in the ruins' main chamber, Adora finally gets to meet her other mentor figure, Light Hope. Though rather than giving Adora a shoulder to cry on, she drops a whole lot of responsibility on her that she'll be leaving her friends and spending the next few years in Hero boot camp. Adora, having already got inspiration from Raz, decides to pick her own destiny, while trying to balance that with Light Hope's expectations, promising to come by for occasional training or whenever she needs to do laundry. This isn't Adora's real reward. The real reward were the friends she made along the way. I'm serious. Glimmer and Bow and the other princesses showed her kindness and put their faith in her, and showed her that Catra isn't everything, and Adora was able to find the strength to keep fighting for them. This is the reward Adora needs and what she will be tested on during the road back.
Road back. This is when the hero sees the light at the end of the tunnel. But their biggest challenge is headed their way, and they have to prepare for that. Anyway, this is the part of the story, Battle for Brightmoon. The downsized Princess Alliance has to fight off a massive invasion by the Horde. Now, remember how Catra showed up in the first one's pyramid with Adora, the world's angstiest cat? She took a piece of the first one's tech to bring back to the Horde and supercharge their weapons. Using the tech on the Black Garnet, the planet goes haywire and gives the Horde the opportunity to march on Brightmoon. Catra gets to come face to face again with Adora and show her, with her emotional blocks out of the way, she is the new baddest alley cat.
Resurrection, Climax, Final Test. Hero uses everything they've learned to conquer the final test. Entrapta didn't die, she just got recruited by the Horde for lab privileges, and for them. She taps into the rune stone using the Black Garnet, that one thing Shadow ever used to draw magic from. Using that, Entrapta was able to weaken the other princesses' rune stones, and weaken them, as well as damage the ecosystem. Adora comes face to face with Shadow again, but ready to blast Adora into the underworld. Catra didn't take down Adora herself, her inferiority complex drove her to try destroying Brightmoon first, and have Adora sit back, captured, to watch the new life she built her existence around crumble. The ex-Princess Alliance members pop in to save the day, and with their combined powers, reboot the runestones, shorting out the Black Garnet and returning the princesses to full power, letting them easily bounce back and defend the kingdom.
Return. The hero brings their knowledge or some magical elixir back to the ordinary world. Now, the Alliance has gotten a taste of what their foes are truly capable of. Now they can face the future with clear heads, strong powers, and the power of friendship. Adora started the series confident in what her goal was, and with a tight-knit friend group. In answering the call and crossing the threshold, she lost all of that. But here at the end, she gets it all back. Not with the same group, but it completes Adora. This is only the beginning of her story. There's much more she has to face, learn, and overcome. But Season 1 gives us a clear view of what the story and the message is. If I had to put a moral on this story, it would be you can't go through everything alone, and sometimes you genuinely need the help of others, no matter how good you are. Adora found that out again and again, even while as the thought-to-be invulnerable She-Ra, as she had to rely on her friends in almost every scenario. In the future, we see this is where Catra falls. Her inability to let others help, becoming consumed by her own actions, pushing people away, and losing all of her strength. She cripples herself trying to take on the world alone.